Dish of Life. Yes, Dish of Life Extra.
What is Dish of Life?
This is a dish that makes life worth its living. It is a program on how to live your life to its utmost in health and lifestyle. It is a program that takes you step by step on how to prevent, manage, and remove diseases and other ailments from your system without lifelong usage of drugs or incessant hospital attendance. Dish of Life Extra takes you from wherever you are to where you want to be in your health and lifestyle every Tuesday by 11 a.m. and a repeat broadcast on Saturday by 11 a.m. by your host, Dr. Semiyu Olagode.
Hello, my good people of Abuja, Nasarawa, Kogi, Niger, Benue, Plateau, and all other states that are surrounding our federal capital city here in Abuja. You're welcome to your every week elixir in preventive education, Dish of Life Extra. Coming to you from your number one community-friendly radio station, Vision 92.1 FM. I am your regular host, Dr. Semiyu Olagode. Last week we discussed on stressed people and their mistakes personified. And we were able to understand the reasons why they are so. And I promised last week that today we're going to talk about how to cope with stressful situations. It is quite unfortunate that stress, as it is called, on its face value, it looks as if it's all about negativity. But when you look at stress in its all-encompassing situation, you will find out that coping with it is a mechanism that can make the difference between being positive or being negative. So today, we're going to find out how can we cope with a stressful situation that always leads others into destruction, while it leads others into achievement. This is me today, Dr. Semiyu Olagode, still with you. So my brothers and sisters, my colleagues, and those who are my seniors, my fathers, my mothers, those of you who are always interested in listening to this, your boys' talks. Today, we are saying that stress can be very difficult to cope with because it gets to the center of everything that makes us human. And it can also displace the focus of positive attention if we allow it. This is the reason why many people find it difficult to cope with stress. However, there are steps to dealing with emotional stresses or other stresses. But for today, we're going to deal mainly with emotional stress. The first step is to look at the least area of resistance, which can be moving away from the sources of your stress. Yes, you heard that right. Let's take, for instance, if your stress is from your immediate family, take a holiday. When you take a holiday, it might not be a holiday outside the country. It might be a holiday that you can afford. It can be from you moving away from your house into a friend that you trust house, where you can actually live away from your sources of stress. The stress might be from your spouse, might be from your children, might be from your brothers, your sister, even your neighbor. So if that is a problem and you want your life to continue in the right, perspective, you need to move away from the source of that stress. If you're able to move away, that effort alone can reduce the impact of such stress on you more than 50%. Then the only thing you now need is how to now cope with the 50%, which will be easier than you having all the 100% every day staring at you. So that is the first point in coping with stressful situation. The second one is to shift your focus off the sources of such stress. In some cases, we are too preoccupied with what we are seeing that is bringing all this stress than changing our focus into something or an alternative that can relieve us of that stress. And that is the only way that you can start reducing the stressful situation that can bring you a lot of problems. So when you are gainfully occupied with something else away from the stress, then you are reducing the stress further, and you are going to now utilize your time in a much more gainfully ways that will even start taking that stressful situation away from your mind. The third step is to engage in productive lifestyle changes. A lot of people, when you tell them about lifestyle changes, the only thing that comes to mind is, okay, I'm not drinking again. But even when I'm at home, I do a little bit of exercise. No. All those ones we were doing them with stress on you. Now, when you have moved away from the sources of the stress, then you now put your mind on those lifestyle changes. And when we talk about lifestyle changes, you can change the way you eat. That can even help a great deal. You can change the way you even do the exercise that you're doing. You can now deal with the exercise that you need more focus rather than what you were doing, maybe in your home or in the areas where those stress were coming from, or maybe even from your offices where you might have had issues with your coworker. I mean, even if your emotional stress is due to a coworker in your office, you can also take a holiday. Because when you take that holiday, it's going to take you away from the source of stress. Now, so we're talking about the third step. So you now engage in more of physical and mental exercise. You see, lifestyle changes, as we always discuss here, is now the bedrock of good health, whether you like it or not, and it has no age limitation. You heard that well. There is no age limitation in lifestyle changes. Oh, a lot of people say, what lifestyle has a child got that will need a change? No. The way you bring up a child, so will he grow. So if you start showing them the right way, then they wouldn't even need to change in the future. So when you are doing that, your changes in your diet or in your nutrition, make them follow you. When you're doing that, your exercise, make them follow you and let them see the importance of it. When you are relating to people, make them see the way you relate with people so that they can follow you to relate with them. So when we're talking about lifestyle changes, it is ageless. And as long as me, as a doctor, am concerned, stress affects all ages. I have seen a child who was so stressed up because of the mother that we had to remove her from their house. That was how bad it was. So there is no age restriction in stressful situations that can lead to harmful health, consequence. Now, if by that you are now changing your lifestyle, you're now having other focus in mind. You are now able to now say, okay, let me look at myself. Maybe I put on some weight. I want to reduce it. Oh, maybe I don't even have enough weight now. I want to eat, the way that I'm going to now put on the type of weight that I like. So it's not about just losing weight. No. Some people actually need to put on some weight. And moreover, some stressful situation can actually make you lose weight, even when you are eating the best of food. And then, in some situation, stressful situation can make you put on weight by eating junks. A lot of people eat junk food because of stress. A lot of people eat junk food because they are depressed. A lot of people smoke, drink, and all this because they are depressed. They are looking for ways out. Unfortunately, they are taking the wrong way in instead of taking it out. And that is the reason why you find some people, you look at them from outside, they are well, they are well dressed, they are comfortable, they have the cars they need, they are living in beautiful houses. You see their wife smiling outside, but just go in and you see the same wife that was smiling outside has become a real tiger inside. So the outsiders don't know what she's doing inside to the husband, and the husband cannot tell anybody outside what he's going through. So these are the situations that happen in our homes. And unfortunately, some people become so depressed that the only thing they contemplate is to give up. And in giving up does not even mean only para-suicide or suicide. In most cases, it affects the way they live. And before you know it, the way they live now affects their health, and the health conditions start getting worse and worse until they cannot be able to do anything about it. So the lifestyle changes is so important when you are about to cope with your stress. And believe me, just as I said last week, until you accept that you're under stress, you cannot cope with it. If you think that whatever is happening around you is the normal thing, everybody goes through their thing. No, it is not so, my brothers and sisters. When you see yourself not being able to have the control of yourself, of the family, or of the situation that you are finding yourself, for instance, if you are having stress from work, and there's a particular co-worker that is just there to give you this stress, you have two options. Either you ask for a change of office, where you will not be able to meet again together, or you meet very sparingly, or you get a holiday. So it is not just every time you say, oh, the work is too, there's scarcity of work now. So if I now ask them to change my office, they may sack me. No. And if they sack you, they may just sack you into a better place, because you want to remain alive and well. When you are alive and well, you can get a better job. If that your co-worker has to go and send you into depression that will lead to suicide or para-suicide, or lead you into unnecessary habits that will now lead you into bigger problems. So this is the way we're talking about it. And we say in some cases, some chronic illnesses could have crept into the body due to such stress effects on our immune system. I hope so many people will not think that the good food they eat, all the good things and the supplementary things they drink will help them when it comes to stress. Please no. Because a lot of the immune system that those things that you are using are supposed to have effect on, the stressful situation will not allow them. Because stress will promote your immune system to the extent that they won't even be able to help you if any germs comes in. They won't be able to help you in protecting yourself from anything that is coming from outside to invade you. So you have to understand the fact that the cure or the maintenance of such illness should be faced squarely so as to reduce the damage from such emotionally induced physical illnesses. So if you know that you really must take care of the illness that was caused by a stressful situation, then you must learn to cope with that stressful situation. Because if you don't, no matter what you use for that your ill health, it will not work. Or it will be working and be going back. It will be working and going back until you find out that, oh, after some time, it's not just working again. Then you will be wondering, what happened? When I was doing this, I was getting better. But you are not away from the source of your stress. Until you are away from the source of your stress, every drug you use might just be wasteful. Every lifestyle changes that you make might just be wasteful. And that is the reason why I told you the first thing you need to do to cope with stress is to move away from your sources of stress. So, coming to the illness heart aspect of it, a lot of people who are suffering from metabolic diseases today or cardiac illnesses, you'll be shocked that majority of them have to do with stress. It can either be emotional stress, financial stress, or other stresses. But just as I said, today's own is about emotional stress. And when you talk about financial stress, You'll be shocked that it can turn to emotional stress for you when you can no longer fulfill your familiar or your responsibility as a man or as a woman. All this can, go into a long way to affect you physically. And that may be something that you would not have drugs for. So all these illnesses can become chronic, leading to prolonged exposure to unnecessary expenditure of resources. That's another way. Now you're facing stressful situation, and then you now have this illness, and then you are now spending the money you don't have on the illness. Now you'll be wasting so much resources on these illnesses, and at the end of the day, you are not achieving anything, and you are still wasting the money. So all these ones are the things you must put in mind. And the most difficult is the depressive episodes that usually come. See, when a man is faced with stressful situation, there is tendency to continue to have depressive episode in between. I mean, this thoughtful, negative thought of, should I just end it here? Or should I just run away? Should I just drive this car and face the trailer? Or all this depressive episode comes in. That is not parasuicide. Because a lot of people would think that the person wants to commit suicide. No. That's a different thing altogether. One day I'm going to discuss that with you. When you have depressive episode, it comes and goes. Sometimes you feel, why should I think about this? And boom, you are off it. But at the same time, you come again. That is not. It is that can lead to parasuicide before the real suicide takes place. So all these things will continue to come if you don't find a way to get out of your stressful situation. And then, as I was saying, good and trusted friends can be of great help in this type of situation. That is why your relationship with, people around you must be so nice. Your friends, you must gauge which one is the one that is really good for you in what situation. It is not all your friends that should come into your marital affairs, no matter how close you are. It's not all your friends that you should explain your financial problem to. No. It's not all your friends that you should even talk to about your children. All these are the things that you must understand when you're having a relationship with people. Whether your friends, your family, extended or close, you must be able to know which one can you trust enough to be able to have specific area of your life that you can discuss with them. And those are the people that can help you out of this particular situation. Of course, I've talked about changing diet, which can also help you. There are some fruits and vegetables that can improve your depressive condition. They can improve the hormone that brings happiness into your brain. And when you are eating these fruits often, you tend to forget everything. And before you know it, you're bringing happiness to yourself. Maybe one day, I'm going to bring the names of this fruit to you so that you can be able to start eating them and see whether they will not change your situation. Another thing you need to do, learn how to make yourself smile. Learn how to laugh like a child. You see, once you start bringing happiness to yourself, that's your stressful situation. Just start finding its way. I'm sorry we didn't have enough time today because I think we have only a few minutes to go and we are not going to beat the time. But I'm going to continue next week, God willing, to tell you other ways of beating stressful situation, of beating diseases that come out of stressful situation, and of coping with them in such a way that you live your life better. You become more productive and you become more useful to your family, immediate and extended, to your organization, wherever you might work, and to everyone who might have known you or are still intending to know you. I'm going to stop here today. I hope that you have been able to grasp one or two things out of what I have just said in coping with stressful situation. And believe me, remember as you're going home today, that sickness that you're having, that chronic diabetes, that chronic hypertension, that chronic liver disease, chronic kidney disease might not just be what you are thinking about. It might just be the problem arising from the stressful situation you find yourself. So until next week when I come your way again, to continue where we are just stopping today. And until then, it has been me, Dr. Ola Golden Semio, saying, keep healthy, keep productive, stay away from stressful situations. Bye.